Hello, my magnificent Leos, my radiant sun-kissed souls. Welcome back to Cosmic Wisdom. I am so deeply glad the universe has guided your noble heart here to this very moment, because today we speak of the sacred fire that burns at the very center of your being. Before we begin our journey, I want to ask you something, and I ask that you listen for the answer, not with your mind, but with the deepest wisdom of your soul. Have you always felt it? That quiet, unshakable, knowing that you were born for something more, that there is a brilliant, world-changing light inside of you, a light that aches to be seen, to be shared, to warm everyone it touches. Of course you have. You, my dear Leo, were born with the heart of a lion and with the sun itself as your cosmic signature. To shine is not merely something you do. It is the very essence of who you are. And let's be incredibly gentle and honest with ourselves. Have you also felt the immense unspoken pressure that comes with carrying such a radiant light? The quiet fear that if the applause fades, if the audience turns away, your own light might flicker and die. Have you ever felt the true weight of the crown you wear so beautifully, the profound exhaustion that comes from a lifetime of being the strong one, the bright one, the unwavering center of your universe? If even a tiny part of your soul just resonated with that truth, know that you are in the right place. This is a sacred conversation. Today, we are going to journey beyond the dazzling performance and into the eternal, unshakable core of your power. We will uncover the life-altering difference between seeking the light and learning to be the light. This single shift is the key that unlocks a kingdom of freedom, peace, and power more magnificent than you have ever allowed yourself to imagine. So if you are truly ready to claim your inner throne and step into the most authentic, peaceful, and radiant version of your power, show the universe you are serious by tapping that like button right now. It sends a solar flare of love and courage out into the cosmos, helping other Leos find their way home to this vital message. And of course, if you're not yet part of our beautiful Cosmic Wisdom family, please honor us by pressing that subscribe button. You are a cherished member of this pride, and I wouldn't want you to miss a moment of the magic we are destined to create together. All right, my beautiful lions, take a deep, sovereign breath. Let's step into the heart of your kingdom. From the moment you took your first breath, you were imprinted with the energy of the most powerful and life-giving force in our solar system, the sun. Your celestial ruler isn't just a distant planet, it is the very heart of everything, the source of warmth and light around which all else gracefully revolves. This cosmic inheritance is not a small thing, it is the blueprint of your soul. You are here on this earth to lead, to create with boundless passion, to love with a generosity that can heal hearts, and to shine with a warmth that makes other people feel not just seen, but truly, deeply, and wonderfully alive. This is your divine gift. You walk into a room, and the energetic frequency literally rises. You possess a natural charisma, a gravitational pull that is both magnetic and comforting. You are the grand storyteller, the joyful life of the party, and the fiercely loyal friend who will defend your pride with the courage of 1,000 lions. You instinctively build kingdoms of friendship, family, and community around you, and you rule them with a huge, benevolent, and deeply caring heart. And the world, in turn, loves you for this. It rewards you with applause, with admiration, with devotion. You step into the spotlight, and it feels like coming home. It feels natural. It feels right. But here, my friend, is where the sacred challenge for the evolving Leo soul begins. Over a lifetime, it becomes dangerously easy to confuse the reflection with the source. You can begin to believe, on a deep subconscious level, that your worth is not inherent, but is instead a currency that is measured by the amount of validation you receive from the outside world. Your light, which is your divine and inalienable birthright, can start to feel like something you have to constantly earn, and so you begin to perform. You put on the brave, smiling face, even when your own heart is breaking. You give and give from your cup, even when you can feel the bottom is dry. You feel a relentless pressure to be constantly entertaining, inspiring, impressive, or strong, because the silence that follows when the show is finally over can feel absolutely terrifying. It can feel like an abyss, like proof of your greatest fear that without an audience, you simply cease to exist. Have you ever had a moment like that? Leo, a moment. After a great triumph or project, you spearheaded a party, you orchestrated a moment where you were the undisputed hero, and after all the congratulations and praise, you found yourself utterly alone, and instead of feeling full and satisfied, you felt a profound and hollow echo. In that deafening quiet, a terrifying voice may have whispered, "Was that it? If no one is clapping, who am I? What am I worth?" Please hear me when I say this. This experience is not a sign of your weakness or your failure. It is a sacred summons from the deepest part of your soul. It is the universe lovingly, gently placing its hands on your royal shoulders and whispering, "My dear child of the sun, it is time." It is time for you to learn that you are not the spotlight shining down. You are the eternal star it emanates from. This feeling of emptiness is the sacred catalyst for your greatest and most important evolution. It marks the beginning of a holy journey inward, a quest to discover and build your own inner throne, an unshakable seat of power that no one can ever give you and no one can ever take away. This is the path from being a king or queen who requires an external kingdom to feel royal to becoming a true sovereign who understands that the kingdom has always been and will always be within. Let's return for a moment to your magnificent rule of the sun. The sun does not shine because the planets are watching. It doesn't put on a bigger show for Saturn or give more of its light to Earth in hopes of getting a thank you card. The sun shines because that is its fundamental, unchangeable nature. It shines because of the incredible fiery nuclear fusion happening at its very core. It shines from the inside out. Its glorious, life-giving radiance is simply a byproduct of its own internal, self-sustaining, alchemical process. This, my magnificent Leo, is the ultimate secret to your unshakable power and peace. Your soul's primary mission in this lifetime is to stop outsourcing your energy to the grid of public opinion and to start cultivating the divine fiery fusion within your own heart. It is the monumental shift from seeking validation to generating your own unwavering self-worth. So the great question is, how do we begin this sacred work? The first step is an act of profound courage. But it's not the loud, performative slaying the dragon courage you're so famously good at. This is a quieter, more radical, and far more revolutionary courage. It is the courage to be still. The courage to be alone with yourself, in the silence, without immediately reaching for a phone, a project, or a person to distract you. It is the courage to turn your brilliant laser-like focus inward and ask the real questions. Without anyone else's opinion, what truly makes my heart burn? With passion, what brings me genuine, simple joy? Not for the great story it will create later, but for the delicious feeling it gives me, right here in this moment. This is the beginning of learning to tend to your own inner sacred flame. It looks like taking a walk in nature and just listening to the wind, not taking a perfect photo of it. It looks like painting with bright, messy colors, not for a gallery, but for the sheer love of watching them mix. It looks like dancing wildly in your living room when no one is watching, just to feel the music in your bones. And most radically of all, it means embracing your vulnerability. As a Leo, you are a pillar of strength for so many. But allowing yourself to be soft, to be messy, to admit, I don't know, or I'm scared, this is not a failure of your reign. It is the act of a truly wise and compassionate sovereign who understands that their humanity is just as precious as their divinity. When you give yourself permission to be fully, beautifully, imperfectly human, you liberate yourself from the exhausting job of having to be a flawless deity for everyone else. And in that, you discover a new, more profound, and more restful kind of strength. As you embark on this beautiful internal journey, you will begin to notice the entire landscape of your life shifting in the most miraculous ways. The ripple effects of this inner alignment are vast, powerful, and life-changing. Let's explore how this transforms the kingdom of your relationships. In your past, you may have been unconsciously drawn to relationships that mirrored a stage dynamic. You might have chosen partners or friends who became your loyal and adoring audience. It felt good, it felt comfortable, it fed your need for validation. But I ask you to reflect, honestly, did it feel like you were truly deeply seen? Or did it feel on some level like you had to constantly maintain the performance of being the exciting, dynamic, and flawless one in order to keep their love and attention? This dynamic, my friend, is incredibly lonely and deeply unsustainable. But as you learn to source your light from your own inner sun, your energetic signature undergoes a profound change. You no longer radiate a subtle frequency of neediness that says, please watch me, please approve of me, please tell me I'm wonderful. Instead, you begin to radiate a calm, confident, and self-sustained warmth. It's a quiet power. And because of the immutable law of energetic resonance, you will start to draw in entirely new kinds of connections. You will attract people who are not interested in your performance, but who are utterly captivated by your authentic presence. They won't be your audience. They will be your co-stars, sovereign suns in their own right, shining just as brightly alongside you. These are the relationships where you can finally take off the heavy crown, put your feet up, and just be. You can share your deepest fears without worrying it will diminish you in their eyes. You can be goofy, you can be quiet, you can be sad, and you will make the most beautiful discovery of all that you are loved, not in spite of these things, but because of them. This is a love that doesn't demand you be a monument. It is a love that cherishes and protects the beautiful beating human heart within. And your famous Leo generosity, it will transform from a transaction giving warmth in exchange for admiration into a pure unconditional overflow. Because your inner sun is now self-sustaining, you have an infinite supply of warmth to give with absolutely no strings attached. This is the most magnetic and healing energy you can possess, and it will make your relationships deeper, more honest, and more soul-satisfying than you ever dreamed possible. Now let's talk about your physical body, your health, and your vitality. The constant pressure of performance takes a physical toll. It can manifest as burnout, adrenal fatigue, tension in your shoulders and jaw, and a pervasive feeling of being on all the time, which prevents true deep rest. Your body has been running on the fickle fuel of adrenaline and cortisol. But when you shift your energy source, you shift your biology. Living from a place of authenticity is profoundly restful for the nervous system. The energy you radiate comes from a deep well of inner peace, not a frantic need to impress. You'll find you sleep more deeply. You'll find a new sense of ease in your own skin. Taking care of your body will no longer feel like a chore, but like a royal duty to the vessel that houses your magnificent spirit. And what about your creative empire? Your career, your purpose, your unique mark on the world? This is where your transformation will truly set the world ablaze in the most beautiful way. The Leo who is hooked on external validation often plays it safe creatively. You do what you know will get the likes, the promotion, the applause. But the Leo who is sourced from within becomes a true creative pioneer. You become brave enough to take risks, to create the art your soul is crying out to make, even if you're not sure how the world will receive it. Your work becomes a joyful, untamed expression of the fire that is now burning steadily and brightly within you. You will begin to lead not from a place of ego or a need for control, but from a place of genuine electrifying inspiration that awakens and empowers everyone around you to shine their own lights more brightly. Your purpose will shift from building a monument to your own greatness, to using your light to illuminate the path for others. This is the mark of a true leader, the kind people follow, not out of duty, but out of pure, heartfelt inspiration. And here is the most glorious paradox of all. When you finally release the desperate clutching need for external success, when you focus purely on the joy, the passion, and the authenticity of your expression, then true, lasting, and deeply meaningful success will hunt you down. Opportunities will flow to you, not because you chase them, but because your radiant, peaceful, authentic energy is simply irresistible. You are no longer just building a career, you are building a legacy of light. So, my dear Leo, can you feel the profound truth of this shift? This sacred journey is not about dimming your light. Heaven forbid. The world needs your magnificent radiance now more than ever. This journey is about changing the power source. It's about unplugging from the fickle, unreliable grid of external validation and plugging directly into the infinite, eternal, self-sustaining reactor of your own magnificent heart and soul. You are not merely a performer on a stage. You are the playwright, the director, and the star of your own life. You are not just the king or queen of a temporary kingdom. You are the living embodiment of sovereignty itself. Your light is not a performance. It is your very essence. And when you finally, truly, and deeply embody this truth, you become utterly unstoppable. You become the force you were always destined to be, a beacon of love, courage, and creative power, shining effortlessly from the inside out, simply because it is your divine nature to do so. This is your liberation. This is your homecoming. This is your truth. What a powerful and sacred realization this is. As this truth settles into every cell of your being, I invite you to anchor it into your reality. If this message has stirred your noble lion heart, please go to the comments below and affirm this new reality for yourself and for all to see by writing, "My light is my essence, not my performance. I am the sun." Each time one of you bravely writes this, you are not just claiming it for yourself. You are holding the door open for another Leo to step into their own sovereign power. Let us create a roar of awakening that echoes across the entire world. Thank you, my beautiful, radiant friends, for walking this sacred path with me today. It is a profound honor to witness your light. Never, ever forget the incredible power that resides within you. The universe did not make a mistake when it made you a child of the sun. Go forth and shine, not because the world is watching, but because it is the most natural, joyful, and beautiful thing you can possibly do. Until next time, stay radiant.